the items that he might build are pretty up in the air. Right now he's queuing up bracers, so probably we'll just see bracer and try to fight. But yeah, I'm excited to see how this goes. But yeah, there's a lot of comfort heroes for certainly. Queen of Pain has some questions to answer as well. That did reveal that they had a ward up there.
A little bit of a chase here coming out from Moon Meander. But they're just going to push them away off of the rune area and take control.
This does force Ryoya to skill Blink level 1. That's the one big negative here for him. He'll use this to run all the way back to base to heal. There's still lots of seconds left. And they should be able to get a D ward if they want to, because he Lucent Beamed from low ground, I believe, so that reveals that there was vision. So we'll likely see them deal with that later, but not much lost other than Queen of Pain's laning stage.
That's not a good start, because I mean, you do have Bryle, and he is on the Shadow Fiend. We've been seeing more and more of this right-click build. It's become very, very popular, and this really can pop off. It does so much damage.
But the difference is that it's a mid SF, so we're not going to see him go right-click probably.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, he's got the raises scaled up. But
you're definitely right. It's very strong right now, but if you go all right-clicks and you're playing mid, you can't push the wave, because you just have more or less lots of single target damage, but not enough. Your opponent pushes the waves, they always get every rune, and you kind of get dominated anyway. So always very important that you have mid AoE when you're a mid hero usually. A lot of damage done to Dubu there. Kind of a big deal. He started with a Ring of Basilius for some extra regen.
It's for you. It's the beast, please. It's for you.
Nilnik just throwing out that high five here.
It's the beast.
Tomato doesn't look like he wants to play. Just wants to get over to the lane, start hitting those creeps. So everybody's just kind of making their way over. Do have a little bit of harassment going on in that bottom lane. You can see that Dubu's kind of getting bullied a little bit here by Flea. But mostly just going to trade a couple hits back and forth.
Did some good damage to Razor on the top lane as well. Got a little bit of sap off, but got right click decently by Moon Meander. And this is the cool thing about the lane. Tag Team plus Weaver is a really great dual lane setup, because once you get Geminate, you're getting that double hit in at the start of the fight. And it's a lot of minus armor. Like they mentioned in the draft, it's almost all physical damage coming out of Team Undying. And usually it's a bad thing if you don't diversify your damage type, because there's heroes sometimes that feel pretty consistently buy something like a Hood of Defiance, for example. But if their whole lineup, or a lot of their lineup, is physical damage, it can feel like you can save a lot on item builds. With that said, though, again, it's mid FSF, he's got raises, so there will be magic damage. I guess it's a little bit more diversified, but it can make your itemizations easier.
Just again, fairly quiet start to the laning. We were talking about that earlier with the earlier matchup, just saying how it feels like people learn to lane a lot better. And so we're seeing, you know, very controlled, very measured, disciplined movements. You're not seeing everybody just running at each other in this early laning phase any longer.
Yeah, it's too difficult to do that sometimes. See if they end up diving Bane. They're thinking about it. They're looking for an opportunity. Mid lane, lots of dagger stuff going through. He went level 2, so he's going to get some heal from this. And this should be his bottle coming. Yep, so he will be fine on regen.
Just in time for the water rune. Bottom lane, Lil Nick taking a lot of harassment between Tomato and Dubu. But it's fine, just going to go use a salve, get right back to business.
It is pretty hard to contest this lane, though, and this fast basey by Dubu makes sense, right? Because they both have really good spammable spells. Lucent Beam as well as Thunderstrike. Those on top of their right clicks. It's just going to make it easier to bully Doom out of the lane. Because Doom doesn't really combo very well with a lot of supports. Like, you can cookie him in, I guess, and he can do AoE damage chasing you down, but it's not quite as straightforward as a lot of other offlane heroes in terms of their kill potential.
No, it's not quite as cut and dried, but if they skid a little bit too low, right, you know, maybe Dubu gets a little opposition, he's looking a little too tasty there, they could try to make that happen with the cookie. But the tag team in the top lane, they're just going to steal a lot of this damage, but Saberlight's going to back out using the snowball. Moon Meander, though, still here, still trying to give off a couple of these clicks, but not going to be able to finish off Imperium. And Dubu gets the first blood on Flea in the bottom lane. So now Lil Nick is trapped in a cage. Dubu just throwing out a couple clicks here. He's already went and used that, used the salve. So Dubu gets himself a double kill, and in the top lane, ooh, Saberlight punching back, turns his attention to Empyrean. And, oh god, Lil Nick gets kill on Dubu. There's just death everywhere. All right, we switched some gears here.
Yeah, that was kind of cool by Nick actually to turn and fight a little bit because he could have kept running, but he figured he was going to die. So he turns and then he has a bunch of creeps. When he ends up dying, there's 2 creeps that were still stuck on Dubu. And Dubu just couldn't get away from them more or less. He almost ran to the tower, but then somebody was TPing in. So he's like, all right, Nick can get some gold. He deserves it.
Saberlight again has a snowball Moon Meander. Gonna follow up here. We'll get a little bit of a stun. Is it gonna fall for this though? He's got the bug. It does a decent amount of damage. So they'll be able to turn back around with Empyrean getting the brain sap off. And they'll squish the bug.
Way too much damage there. Swings in, gets salved up as well, so Razor is not bothered at all from this. Saberlight will heal and TP back to lane. This is one of the downsides to playing Tusk in the off lane, in my experience. Oh, little fight.
A lot of damage when you've got that little shredder going, plus the scatter blast. Nick's fast, and he'll get a kill on Tomato. Dubu 2 is not looking too great here. No boots on this little guy. It's too early, so it's a double kill for Nick.
Interesting, and he even got Inferno Blade there to just do a little bit more damage in the lane, so he's not going to farm nearly as much as a Doom, but he'll still do well. And getting kills is really powerful anyway, so playing his lane a little different, but it's working out.
Couple of clicks here in this middle lane. We talked about how Ryoya is very, very comfortable on this Queen of Pain. Bryle should be fine here. He's going to take a lot of damage. Top lane, though, Nightmare comes out from Empyrean, tries to buy a bit more time. Moon having a little bit of damage, but that tag team is just too powerful. So there is another support death here in this top lane.
That was just an incredible amount of damage there. Blightstone plus minus armor from Swarm, and all that physical damage they're doing is amplified by tag teams, so it's like they all have double damages, which still works fine. It's kind of a nice way to offset Razor, really, because Razor normally like beats your lane by one of the 2 guys just has way less damage, so you can't fight him to the death, but because tag team gives you so much damage increase, they're going to go out on top. Same thing.
Same thing again, although they get the Nightmare off over on Tusk, so Saberlight not going to be able to chase after them with that tag team. It's another way to kind of negate all the damage.
He even went for a fast orb of corrosion, so their whole goal on Team Undying is winning their lanes with these itemizations and these hero combos. Tusk should be pretty strong. The Luna plus Disruptor lane is very spammable, and that's kind of worked okay too.
It's been interesting watching both of these lanes unfold, especially when you consider the negative armor strats coming out from both, right? Because you've got the little shredder over on the bottom lane, and then on the top lane, you've got the swarm and whatnot coming out. So almost mirroring a little bit in some senses. A little bit more effective, obviously, though, when you have a Tusk and a Weaver.
Yeah, that lane's pretty cool. But Razor should farm better. He's actually doing a little bit worse, though. He's got 6 less last hits, so it seems like this is the idea against the Razor, because it's not like Razor as a carry is a new thing. This has been streaking really hard in DPC the last week or so, so it's not surprising that somebody would have a solution here as they go on Bane.
Yeah, they found themselves a Bane. The Nightmare gets placed over on Tusk, but it doesn't matter. Saberlight will still get the final hit because Moon tanks the Nightmare.
It's just so much damn damage. But when you get a lane advantage like this, where your opponents feel like they can't contest you, then basically every time they come up, you do too much damage to them. If that's the case...
Ryoya getting a little too cheeky here. They have the Shikuchi. Put out a couple hits, goes for the dive, goes for the Sonic Wave, and they'll get the kill. Moon Meander wanting to punish this, but I don't believe he's going to be able to. It's out that Urn charge, though. Saberlight making his way over, but again, she has that blink. Very hard to get your hands on the Queen of Pain.
I think we know which line is their favorite.
Which one? I can't tell.
That last one they just used.
Ah, yes. That one makes a lot of sense. Flea, Cookie Hop forward. Dubu's going to fall here. And Bryle's making his own return. Goes right on in here. They've used the Doom on the Luna. Bryle just gonna back off here. It should be fine for Luna. Sitting a little bit close, though.
Don't rush for rough for Nick. He definitely could have gotten that kill without SF being there, but I mean, he got really low.
But it's one of those situations where Bryle makes this rotation. You kind of feel good about it, right? Because of the fact, yes, you used a Doom, no, you didn't get a kill, but you made Bryle leave that lane, and he didn't get anything out of it.
Yeah, that was after he died as well, so he TP'd to the safe lane, trying to help out there. Nick in trouble, though.
Yeah, there's a rotation here from Saberlight, and they will take down the Doom.
A lot of damage being dealt. I just... It's a great voice line. Buy their pack, guys. You'll annoy the shit out of me in my pubs.
Excellent. Flea is just going to get walked down here. Again, this tag team just is way too good early on when you have so much physical damage.
And they've got Lunar Blessing too.
And they have that, yeah, it's just
really,
amplifying.
it's really synergistic. It's cool.
It's a nice kill though here on the top lane. Ollie's going to be able to take out Moon Meander. Nick is hiding behind the tower. I'm not sure if they're going to teleport anybody else in. Nick will come forward. It's going to be the snowball. Saberlight, he's going pretty deep on this, but again, the Bane, look at these teleports are coming out fast. Dubu going and dropping the kinetic field, wants to make sure that they can't get their hands on Saberlight, but Nick is so fast here. It goes for the punch, but it's going to be Nick who gets the hit and gets the courier. And that was a chainmail on that.
Not a bad snipe there. Yeah, for Saberlight, that's his phase boots, basically. That's a huge deal, actually. Because he would have had that complete, better for him to chase people down, have a lot more physical survivability. And he's definitely shifted more into like a ganking offlaner, which makes sense. Because the issue is that one of the reasons Tusk doesn't function well as an offlaner is because he doesn't have very good AoE typically. You'll usually max out your other skills. And he doesn't really want to buy regen items, he wants to buy damage. So it's better for him to gank, which is what he's doing.
Another snowball down bottom lane. Ryoya though waiting for it, uses the ultimate. Nick should fall here. And he will, but Saberlight not looking too healthy. I'm not sure if Dubu might be able to get the denial. No, Ryoya will get the hit, and he's going on, and he wants Dubu too. So it's a double kill for this Queen of Pain in the bottom lane.
Great rotation. So there's issues. Saberlight can go gank.
They just won't stop fighting. Ryle getting ganked here. Nice double damage room over on Ollie. He's going to be able to take over this tri-camp area.
They're all on the same page here. In their voice lines and their game.
Yeah.
Just fight all the time. So I don't know. We'll see how the Tusk transitions here. Phase Boots is obviously very good. We're going to see a replay once again. They roll in. They do a billion damage to Nick. It all looks great. But then the combo there. It's a lot of damage over time to Saberlight. Pretty easy to roll him down. See if he can get the deny once again.
He was so close to it.
He needed to wait one more auto attack from Ryoya there to get it, but double kill for him. Really nice gank. He's doing a good job basically offsetting what Tusk accomplishes, and it's so important that he does that right now, because Quap does farm fast. Tusk doesn't. If Tusk is really successful right now and Quap doesn't offset that, if she's instead greedy, then it doesn't overall help her team very much, because Tusk can basically use that space creation to overall have more impact on the game.
They've got a Cardi Wave in the bottom lane, and they're going to be able to take out the tier 1, so feels pretty good for the side of TooBased. They're going to open up the map a little bit more, but they do lose the top tower, so a bit of mirroring action going on from both sides.
Ryoya doing the smart thing. A lot of mid players do this right now in this mid-game position where their opponents, if they feel confident basically, they can play aggressive on the enemy side of the map. You stand on their side of the map where they want to farm, you take their farm. So it really restricts what they feel comfortable taking. Can be really helpful.
That's smart. And you can see the way that TooBased is really putting up these deep wards, trying to keep tabs on everything, because they know that Luna wants to farm. Luna wants to be able to hit these creeps, and if possible, you know, maybe have her team do some stacking for her to help elevate her farm. But right now, showing in the middle lane, putting a little pressure on this tower, trying to force them. Flea, though, is left behind, and that's basically a solo kill here. As now Empyrean, he threw out the Nightmare, but they have a glimpse. They've got the Swarm. They've got this little Bane stuck in the cage, and he's gonna get punched, or in this case, just a little bit of lightning flicked at him.
He killed that bug, though.
He did.
That was the best thing he could do once they got the vision. Yeah, stacks for Luna would be great, but the issue right now is they just don't have good map control. Getting that double kill helps a lot, though. And that was impressive how squishy the Snapfire was, actually. Yeah,
she's usually, you know, because she's a strength here, you imagine that a little bit tankier than most, but nope, she did eventually just pop here. So this game is kind of like crazy, right? Because it's just non-stop kills back and forth. I don't know who's snowballing and who's not at this point, because every time they get a kill, then they die. Like, it's 11-11.
Well, the net worths are pretty important to look at. The core net worths.
They're going to have a fight here. Look at this. Look at this positioning. Saberlight throwing his body very forward. As they're just laying Brile Siege, looking to close the gap.
So basically what's important about the networks right now, if you look at the top, it looks like simply TooBased in the lead. It's really even, though. And that's because of Weaver's farm level. When the Tusk shifted off the lane and started ganking constantly, Moon Meander auto-farmed. And that's why he's level 8 already. He's got a lot of levels. He's going to get his Spirit Vessel at a really fast rate, and that's going to be really effective against both Razor and the Doom. Doom just finished Midas, so his BKB's heaps away. Razor often buys BKB as a first item right now, and that's going to be the case, but he still has like another couple of minutes till it's finished. So Moonmeander's extra levels here could be really effective in these upcoming team fights.
And it also seems like whenever there's a Doom in the game, you just expect him to farm very, very quickly because of the fact that he has that like built-in mechanic of getting gold, and he usually goes for the Midas. So nothing too unusual. Yoya sitting pretty tidily there, but the Luna, again, will continue to accelerate thanks to the fact that she has Moonglyphs.
She will.
He hop a little bit off the mark. Oh, Empyrean, he's left high and dry as he is just offered up as a sacrifice. That feels bad.
Very dead. Extremely dead.
As a support player, I feel like I've been John baited by my team like that.
Yeah, it happens
feels
sometimes. You make a call, you see an opportunity, and
It's just a little off the mark. If it was a little bit further.
so they continue the farm. Quap went Treads Orchid. Pretty normal stuff, although her build can change.
And that's a Spirit Vessel completed now for the Weaver. So good item timings here.
Yep. He'll just farm the dangerous part of the map. That's one of the nice things about these survivable supports. Is that you go to the place that nobody else in your team wants to farm.
And there's a lot of TPs down to this bottom lane. Saberlight hiding in the tree lines, hoping that the Doom sticks around. Lil Nick. Looks like he should be aware. Yeah, definitely aware now.
Bounty.
So I guess it's all going to come down to when people have certain items completed, right, Purge? When we're going to start to see them move about?
Yeah, BKB time out on Razor is going to be really big for sure. Because then he doesn't have to worry about walking into Eclipse, for example, or Disruptor ulti. For Queen of Pain, that's pretty similar situation, because if she ever blinks in aggressively and she gets ultied by Disruptor, it's going to be a really bad time. It also help a little bit against like potential like snowball into Walrus Punch, because then at least the snowball doesn't stun you just like this.
Just like that. There's the silence. A cookie coming forward, just not enough to save him, unfortunately. A good try from Flea, but just too much damage.
It's really well done by Dubu to react in perfect timing there with the silence. And that's the scary thing. Quap is such a strong hero if she gets to choose her initiation target, but
The counter initiation is very scary coming out from the side of Undying as well. Because when you look at what they have, like, you've got a Doom who eventually, yeah, he can kind of do the initiation, especially once he gets Blink or something. But generally, it's going to be pretty difficult other than the Quap. But she's a bit of a glass cannon, right?
yeah, she is.
So how do they engage in these fights?
Just to be very careful, you have to jump in like when it's the right time to jump in and finish a person, like burst somebody down, or partially initiate and play this end of the fight until you need to commit your ulti, or you like jump in, scream, run away, jump in, scream, run away multiple times, and a fight would be really
I feel like it's too hard, though, with what they've got, generally. Although, oh yeah, there's the Fiend script comes out, so they should be able to punish Saberlight. Cryo, though, oh, he's looking, he's trying to help, but gonna get a couple clicks off, follow up with the Swarm for a little bit of vision. They can see Empyrean. Empyrean throws out the Nightmare. Moonmeander will tank that here, as they'll find the kill Tomato with the Lucent Beam, and now it looks like Flea's just gonna start tossing out all those kisses. Big Sonic Wave, can they finish off the Weaver? He's still silent, they'll get the Weaver, they'll get Bryle. And they'll be pretty happy with taking down 3.
That's a really fast BKB on Doom, I gotta say. It's 16 minutes into this freaking game, dude. That was impressive. Perfect timing to have that. He basically guarantees the SF kill that they had from the Snapfire cookies. And it looked like Imperium was just kind of dying again, but really he set up his team in a great way. They killed the Tusk. They're able to turn around and get SF as well. So pretty good moment there for simply TooBased.
They still have the Aegis online here for Luna, but it feels like they're using it mostly for just farming, trying to keep control of the map. And just wait for this this Manta timing here. That's going to be the next item coming out.
Yeah, it's one really good item for her because she's going to be able to push creep waves without having to worry about getting ganked on side lanes by like Bane. And it's kind of nice against Doom as well. If he jumps in, it's very clear that he's going to use his Doom money. You can pop Manta and then better chance you evade actually, or delay actually getting it.
Gotta have the fast fingers. Empyrean getting glimpsed right back in again. A couple more hits from Tomato. And he's on a killing spree.
Nicely done. Oh no, his Van breaks. I assume he knows he's going to go pick it up on the...
I assume so. Looks like he dodged back.
And Saberlight going for Echo Saber for his follow-up item, which is actually pretty good on the hero, just because of tag team, so a little bit more burst damage for those short moments.
Yeah, you mentioned that you weren't sure what the build was going to be for this off-lane Tusk. Is this Does this suit you? Is this something that you feel?
It does, and it wasn't just build, it was also playstyle. It was that, like, leave the lane once I have enough levels and gank side lanes. Weaver picks up the farm, so we don't actually lose overall gold from the lane being given up. We don't lose opportunity in overall Dota stuff because Tusk is sitting in his lane, hitting creeps, doing nothing. Like, there was a famous game where OG was really struggling against Monkey King core, so they're like, well, we're going to pick Tusk 3, and we're going to farm Ags, and we're going to kick the Monkey King out of his ulti. But, like, for this, like, 10-minute period, you've got Seb, like, hitting creeps as Tusk, and hitting creeps as Tusk, and hitting creeps as Tusk, and it's like, okay, yeah, Ags is really cool if you get it, but there's so many other things that weren't happening in the game.
Okay, they're gonna try to make a play on the Queen of Pain. It's enough damage. They'll take out Ryoya, and they'll chase after all. They get a glimpse back.
BKB.
He's gonna turn back around, and he does. He pops a BKB. He decides he wants to fight because also, Bryle coming in. They have no way to cancel out this BKB though, so he'll force a lot of rotations down to this bottom lane and be able to escape. Probably not the way he wanted that first BKB to go, though.
Yeah, but he definitely had to BKB there. With Spirit Vessel on him and a couple heroes, like, they just jump on him and he dies if he doesn't pop it. So better not to be dead. Undying will take the tower as a result. Queuing up a Hurricane Pike on Luna as well. Pretty rarely bought these days on her, but it's great against Razor. It's great against Doom. Push away the guy that's going to be running at you, and that's the big advantage that simply TooBased has with their heroes. Let's take a look at the replay once again. It's really good play by Dubu, basically. As soon as the fight engages, he just puts his ulti down. And it gives enough of a silence that they can begin their combo and just burst on Ryoya once again.
Yeah, it feels like Dubu understands the assignment, right? He's like, okay, it's really hard to get our hands over on this Queen of Pain. My ultimate is like the main way that we're going to be able to do this for now. So every time that's off cooldown, if the opportunity arises, I'm going to try to use it. But of course, Sonic Wave here coming out from Ryoya. He's going to get his own revenge. And now Tomato taking a lot of damage here. It's going to be the Aegis that will get popped. The rest of TooBased is here. Fleas start a little bit early here with the Ion Cannon, but they'll follow up with the Fiend Script, and they'll take out Tomato.
Jeez, what an easy fight for them. Their opponent's getting a little out of position.
Ooh, this is Nick showing off that Blink Dagger. He's got doomed up. This is going to be a dead Bryle. He does end up getting a kill, though, on top of it.
That was sick by Nick. Oh my god, look how much gold Bryle got for that. Nick could have BKB'd there out of safety, or he could have walked away from the Doom a little bit to take less ulti damage. Either way, it was a good play. It was an Arcane Rune. You love casting Doom with Arcane Runes.
Static Storm.
Again.
Rinse and repeat. Empyrean trying to buy a little bit more time, but with that silence on Ryoya, the glimpse, it didn't even matter anyway, so they had a little bug munching away on him, and now Empyrean, they have a lot of damage, and he will fall as well.
This 3-hero combo is like just slaying the damn map. And they've killed Quap now 3 times before his BKB gets finished. I think it's now done. It was flying out to him. But the fact that they've gotten the 3 kills just gave up a lot of his advantage. His net worth is still good. The game's not over by any means, but it's really helping Undying buy time for Luna to just be the super farm carry that she wants to be.
Well, they also don't want... So, yes, you have this BKB picked up from Ryoya, but he doesn't want to have to be using it defensively the entire time, because that's how it feels like every single time these things are being set up. Is just Dubu gets into position along with Saberlight plus, Moon, and this hit squad of 3, they drop the Static Storm. So if she gets caught out again, she's always going to have to BKB to try to stay alive. And
she will.
I don't think that's how they want to play it.
It's not great, but there are going to be opportunities to potentially get a response kill, right? Like, she still has to worry about the tag team walrus punch, certainly. That's so much physical damage.
Right.
But maybe she can turn around and kill Disruptor before she leaves. Or that'll buy her 10 seconds to kind of play with the fight potential. And then someone will get there and then she can definitely commit. So, yeah, it's not great. And they've been doing it, but it is significant. How it's very difficult to get like 3 heroes in the right place to get a kill off on Quap so many times. Like, it's just positioning and reading the map so well by Undying.
All right, smoke play. They found Bryle. They'll drop the Static Storm, but the BKB is coming out immediately. Empyrean has a nice Fiend Script hold, but it's going to have to take a little bit more damage. They tried to go, and they're not going to be able to finish off. Tomato, though, does have his own BKB. Looks like they don't want to fight, though. Side of Undying, just going to back off. They're not together. They're not collected. And so TooBased will be able to take over a little bit of this jungle.
Yeah, that was the profit of their Arcane Doom right there, that they were able to use it to take another fight. But once again, they're getting the right heroes. Maybe not once again, because this is now TooBased having a great... There's actually been so many kills in this game.
It's actually bonkers.
38 kills in 28 minutes.
Yeah.
This is insane.
After I had this whole long spiel about how everyone's so disciplined.
Disciplined and careful. But,
welcome to North America.
But both teams are doing a really good job, like putting 3 heroes that they need to on top of an enemy core. And this is one thing that I think is undersold sometimes when you watch like TI level games or like Team Spirit, the way they played against LGD. It's like Yutaro doesn't die, basically, because he anticipates where his opponent's ganks are coming. That is not really happening here, and that's why a lot of people are dying. But it's like both teams are weak at defense, but they're both really good at offense. So it's working out fine. It makes for a fun game, at least.
They're just letting Tomato hit the buildings.
Well, they're not. They don't want to necessarily TP back to go defend it because they know he's not going to commit anyways.
Yeah. Instead, they'll find themselves a Bane here. Gets the Nightmare off. Brain Sap, but a couple clicks from Bryle should be able to do the trick. So he's managed to protect Ryoya, but Ryoya getting dragged right back in again.
He's got a BKB.
He's got the BKB, and this is what we talked about. He's forced to use it in a defensive manner because it's just he's not finding the opportunities to be offensive.
Yeah. I mean, they poked a little bit, but it was a great initiation from Saberlight there. Blinks, punches, snowballs through 2 heroes, and Ryoya could have popped the BKB and tried to take the fight, but if anything, it was just really well done that Dubu got the vision anyways. Gets the vision, gets the glimpse, forces the BKB, and now that gives them a little bit of time to be aggressive if they want to.
Definitely feels like Undying has more control of the map right now with the way that they're playing and the way that they present themselves in these fights.
I can feel that, for sure.
Yeah. It's weird, though, because it feels even, but at the same time, like, you look at the way that they're moving together, and it feels like TooBased a little bit more disorganized, right? Like, you see the elegant ballet of, like, 3 heroes over on the side of Undying, just making these hit squad movements, and then a lot of the times, you see Ryoya getting picked off. Undying very closely together now. TooBased has smoked up. But looks like they're already going to try to back off. Saberlight already TPing away. The rest of the team, something's in the air. They know.
I mean, there's no reason to stay anyways. They got the tier 2 tower, so it's a mix of both. It's always spooky hitting tier 2 towers because your opponents definitely see it. They really don't want to lose it because it opens up shrines, so they can just feel it. They're like, I haven't seen it here in a while. We're taking the tier 2. We just got to get back. There's no reason to stay. Get back, reset, or walk as a team. TooBased right now just going to control the enemy area quite well. Doom's farming is excellent still. 800 gold towards his refresher. He's already got Shiva's guard as well, so he's just crushing.
See a couple pings coming in on top, and again, it's going to be the Weaver who continuously pushes. Definitely one of the trickier heroes to get your hands on, so...
Oh, he's going to die top, Weaver.
He's silenced up by Ryoya, but he's able to just time-lapse it off.
Too tanky. He had Essence Ring as well. Essence Ring, Wand, Raindrop. That's why he lives there. Ryoya, I'm sure, wanted to just be able to burst him. He basically blinked and orchided him when he showed on the creep wave, but he's got 1700 HP right now as the Weaver. Like, how do you kill that guy?
There's the opening. A lot of right clicks. The Doom comes out, though, and they do manage to get the Fiend's Grip buff, so Empyrean trying to hold into place. It's like they're not going to be able to quite finish him off. No Neck taking so much damage, though. He is just barely going to make it out alive. Although eventually he does fall again to Bryle as Ollie joining in the fight. Ryoya looking for the opening, gets that silence off over onto the Weaver. There's going to be a refresher coming out from Ollie, so he's going to try to chase down over on Tomatoes. They do get the kill on Empyrean finally. It's going to be a glimpse back. And now Moon Meander, he was trying to finish off Flea. He needed a little bit more damage. He does get Scatter Blasted back. He'll find the kill as now Saberlight. He's kind of playing around here. He's trying to be a bit cheeky, trying to make an opening for his team. As he's going to be able to blink away. He does have a little bit of that damage on him. He's going to be able to make it out. It looks like he's going to be fine. As the rest of the team thinking about going in, they get the glimpse back over onto Ollie, and there's a lot of damage coming out now from the side of Undying. Ollie is not going to survive this. 4 dead on the side of TooBased.
And Dubu's made Glimpse look so good this game, actually. And that's basically just a testament to Undying playing together as a squad. Because, like, Glimpse isn't effective unless you have the right heroes in the right place and your opponents feel the need to retreat. So, yeah, they already won the fight in this case, but there's a lot of other glimpses that just put them in the wrong spot on the Simply TooBased side. And I don't think their teamfight decision-making is bad. They're gripping and dooming the SF, but the problem is that his right-click is still pretty solid, and they don't really kill him fast enough if he's BKB'd. If he's BKB'd, he's not taking magic damage, he's not getting stunned. He's just like, fine, I'm doomed, whatever. I'm going to hit you till I die, and I'm going to get something out of it. And it created a good circumstance for his team to follow up.
All right, well, we have an Aegis online yet again here for Tomato. And they're feeling very, very strong right now, especially after that last fight. Doom is still on cooldown. There is a Bloodthorn, though, that just got picked up for Ryoya. So that will give them a little bit more control, a little bit more damage. But he has to watch out that he's not the one who gets jumped on first.
It's true.
Oh my god, there's a full
Interesting.
Leap near.
For support, yeah, that's weird.
That's insane.
It's great. I mean, I saw him with the Javelin earlier, but I've been coming around to Gleipnir. I wasn't a big fan necessarily when it came out, but it's just me being bad. It's a really solid item for control.
Lil Nick.
Did he interrupt his TP? He did not. He just zapped him. But it's an AoE nuke. It's going to make it easier to land the Swarm. It's going to be really good against Quap or other heroes, interrupt Blink Dagger, stuff like that.
Looks like we're getting very close to the next item of the list here for the Luna. I like the way that they're moving around on the side of Undying, although really has to be careful. This Walrus Punch does so much. This is like half his health right off the bat. Good God. Following up with the shards, not going to be able to quite connect, so.
Do you see what he instantly queued up? He's like, I need armor. Let's buy an AC.
Yep, that sounds smart.
Something that I maybe would have justified over the Bloodthorn. I'm trying to think why Bloodthorn is good this game. I mean, they could Rosh with it, I guess.
The glimpse. Okay, BKB comes out from Ollie to protect himself. And Tomato does, of course, have that shard, so we're seeing... Oh, Dubu. They've had enough of his shenanigans. They will wipe the Disruptor off face of the planet. Luna, though, will go. Pops that split here. There's a big Sonic Wave. They had the Doom already placed over on Saberlight, but Bryle has his own BKB, but he's just getting sapped of all of his damage here from Ollie. Bryle looks like he's very, very dead. The rest of the side of Undying is forced to run away. Looks like Tomato, he's just going to go teleport out. They use the Gleipnir over onto Ollie, and the rest of Undying are gonna just back off.
Yeah, he dooms the Tusk there to prevent him from doing more stuff.
I mean, to be fair, he's done a lot of stuff. He does a lot of damage right now.
He has. Yeah, it really helps save people, that kind of thing. Like, especially when he's got Blink Dagger. He could always like blink and burn like 4 to 5 seconds of Doom, for example, which is a pretty significant amount. Not something you want to deal with.
Like, look at this. Look at this damage. Fleet didn't stand a chance.
I mean, Saberlight's a very high-ranked player, but he's making great choices, and you're just really seeing it this game. And I feel like if you're like a weaker player in a stack of 10, like if you're like a mediocre player, like mid-tier in that stack of 10, I feel like you can't do what Saberlight's doing in this game, because you're not going to necessarily know exactly where their supports are going to be. But he just keeps anticipating it, and he's 11, 3, and 10. His total last hits are not very good. He's like barely got more net worth than Weaver, but that's just the nature of the hero, so the fact he's getting kills is really good. So there's Dubu dying. Started going on Tomato, then Lil Nick turned and just doomed the Tusk, I guess. That one felt a little bit weird to me, I guess. He'd already used most of his spells, maybe a bad Doom, but with that said, dooming Brawl when his BKB's up was kind of goofy. That was so much damage. But he's got double Eye of the Storm. That's the power of the Refresher right there. Ollie just shredding. And it's a great build too. Like the Refresher Razor build has been popular. Maybe not popular, but an occasional thing for a long time. But if you rush BKB, it makes perfect sense then, because you're getting BKB, you ulti, you refresh, you ulti a second time, and you BKB again after the first one finishes. So you're getting double BKB on top of it. It makes a lot of sense.
They dusted Moon, but he immediately just throws out the Gleipnir, runs away. And so again, we were saying that the builds have been a little bit interesting because we don't see a lot of the offlane Tusk. We got a Walrus kick coming up now for Saberlight.
I'm excited for this. When I saw it picked, I thought about talking about it at the beginning of the cast, but
well, now's your time.
It's really fun. It's so much fun. It's very easy to use. It used to be hard. It used to be kind of like Boulder Smash where you click on them and the angle that you are pushes them. You just pick frickin' any angle you want. And if somebody's close to you, it kicks them. So with Blink Dagger, what he's going to do, he's going to reverse hook people. He's going to blink on them. He's going to kick them to his team. And then his team's going to kill them by themselves. It's literally like Glimpse.
Yeah, and they already have one of those in here, so why not another one?
The distance is 1400, the damage is 350, the cooldown's 8. It works through Magic Immunity, by the way. It's amazing against BKB'd heroes. Razor runs at you, pops BKB, stealing your carry's damage, you're just like, kick. He's 1400 units away. And how does that guy get back into the fight? It's really, really hard. So let's see how it works.
Tomato's right underneath this ward. Throws his body forward. Immediately, though, they'll go with a big fish punch. Sonic Wave, but again, they're doomed up the Tusk, so he's not going to be able to do too much here. Bryle, though, going with that Requiem, gets the fear off. Ollie, forced to go BKB, but it's way too much damage. Empyrean, nice Static Storm getting dropped, though, by Dubu. Will cancel out the Fiend's Grip, so they'll get the kill on Empyrean. Lil Nick running for his life now, but they have the clicks, they've got the damage, they've got the Gleipnir. Can they finish him off? They get the glimpse, yes they can. And look at this Moon, he wants more. He is silenced, he's got to be careful, but Ryoya also needing to be very careful because the rest of the team still alive and kicking other than this Tusk. And boy, did they do a lot of damage.
Why didn't Tusk buy Lincolns instead of Ags? Terrible mistake. No, getting Doom sucked for sure, but they were able to basically right-click down.
He ate it, though. He ate the Doom for his team.
did.
And now look at this. You've got tower pushers. You've got people who can go and click buildings.
A lot of
It's okay.
All three of these guys do tons of damage. They've got minus armor auras. Does he have the minus the building aura? He does. God, this is so much physical damage.
And I mean, that was their entire draft, too. Fleet, very, very cheeky. Will definitely pay for that move. Buys a little bit more time, though. Solly goes for the refresher here. He's draining a lot of the damage. Tomato, though, throwing out his own as they get a couple of these bounces. Will force himself forward. He wants his kill. He wants Ollie. Can they close the gap, though, is the question. Not going to be able to. BKBs gets popped over on Tomato. Ryoya just keeps poking. Again, all these glaives just bouncing around. They just really can't force them out. And this Tusk is coming back up in a couple seconds. They've already taken over the outpost. He could be back in this fight in a jiffy if he really wants. And TooBased, they're trying to force them out, but they're just not being successful. Well, start to turn away, but if Ryoya's gonna offer up his body like that, clearly they will go back in. They have mega creeps now. This is feeling very spooky for the side of TooBased as Saberlight already rejoining. Look at their positioning. Look at them.
It was time. TooBased doesn't have a base anymore, so they're in a bad spot.
Saberlight again, there's the kick like we talked about, the snowball, and that's Dead Fraser with no buyback.
It's hard to stop against that. Hard to prevent that. The blink kick. They're not going to finish. They're just going to they're not going to finish here. They're going to keep diving. Looking for the blink kick. It won't be Ryoya.
There it is. Yeah, it is. They've got the Static Storm. They've got the Lockdown, and that's Dead Queen of Pain. Lil Nick, he's trying everything that he can. Does get the Doom up, gets a stomp as the BKB, but, you know, he's buying a little bit of time here. I don't think it really matters. Yeah, they go in. The good game gets called.
Man, this game just ended so suddenly. I mean, obviously they played amazing, right? Undying just ganked all over the place.